I think the surprise package has been Quinton de Kock.
Guys, I'm crowning Eddie Burrell the king of overseas recruitment.
I tell you what it hasn't been a tournament for.
The right-handers.
Spinners.
Morris, I've spoken to some batters in this tournament. They don't want to face him. We've had 30 matches in the group stages. Time to pick a combined 11.
There's massive bias here. Let's see, can you pick out the bias?
The saying time flies when you're having fun could not be any truer in this country. The Betway SA20 already has come to the end of the group stages. I can't believe it. Anyone has a time machine? Eoin Morgan is alongside a man who was here in the very first season. Morgs, how much fun have you had?
Nikhil, I've had the best 2.5 weeks that I've had in a tournament in a long, long time. I love traveling the world and seeing good cricket, but just the carnival atmosphere that the Betway SA20 brings, and it has brought it right until the final game of the group stages. And for a tournament to be able to do that is incredible, because you know the 6-team structure, everybody in with a chance, and regardless of how sides played, there was always that carrot angled that if there were certain permutations, they could qualify. So everybody's been drawn in. Now we're looking forward to the playoffs.
I'll start big picture macro first. At the start of the season, I looked at the odds. MI Cape Town, Durban Supergiants were in the top 3 to win this tournament. The Power Royals were dead last. Yet it's been the inverse in terms of what's actually happened. Why does that happen so often? The teams strong on paper often don't always get to the final around the world globally.
Yeah, I think, well, I have quite strong views on it, but I wouldn't have argued against the odds at the very beginning. I mean, you look at the quality of names on paper in the two sides, you would say they can compete against any franchise team around the world. But we're not playing sport on paper. Yeah. That's the beauty of sport. There is a huge amount of jeopardy to each and every game. But you got to remember, in a sports team or any team around the world, the value on culture that you create around, you know, big name players, young players coming through, players that have been around the game for a long time, and creating cohesion for a side to be able to go and perform under pressure. In each and every game, you have pressure on the ground with the big crowds that come in, with the level of expectation they have for their team to perform. And then outside of the ground, you have millions of eyes around the world watching. So huge expectation. And I mean, that's the beauty of it in any way. But the sides that have done well and had success have created environments and cultures where that transition has been seamless. Remember the big turnover of players from last year to this year? It's been more challenging than any other year. But coaches and backroom staff and captains that have done that well have had immediate success. And once they've grabbed that success and that momentum, they've managed to keep hold of it.
Eddie Burrell, for example, is someone that you know very well, played under him. Environment. I look at that Sunrisers team this season, even Trevor Penny's Power Royals, but Sunrisers especially, because they lost their leader in Markram. They lost a number of big name players. Bartman is one. How did he still manage to galvanize a unit with new faces and still finish top of the table?
For the Sunrisers Eastern Cape, I think the difference has been the environment that Eddie Burrell has created. And having been around teams where he has been the head coach previously for Ireland, he is incredibly authentic to himself. He is unapologetic about it. He is an incredibly passionate guy that loves cricket, that loves people, that loves building relationships and working hard. I mean, some of the decisions that they've made, I mean, Quinton de Kock, the signing that they've made, has turned out to be an absolute genius decision. Heinrich Nortje, one of the leading wicket takers in this year's tournament. Johnny Bairstow as well. You possibly say at stages over the last year and a half, we might not have seen the best of Johnny Bairstow again, but in this year's tournament, he has just fine-tuned players that are perceived to have been over the hill and brought them back to their very best. So again, that comes down to environment and comfort and wanting to go that extra mile for your team.
Guys, I'm crowning Eddie Burrell the king of overseas recruitment. First season, the guy brought in Van der Merwe, most wickets. Dan Worrell came after that, 17 wickets. Gleeson came, tore it up. This year, James Coles, 21 years old, Eoin Morgan, spotlight on you. Does he have the Eoin Morgan tick of endorsement? 7 first-class hundreds at 21, played the Under-19 World Cup. You know, what do you think?
I like him. I first came to hear about him through a very good friend of mine who played alongside him, a guy called Stephen Finn, ex-England fast bowler. He said to look out for him a few years ago, and I've sort of tracked his progress nicely. And it feels as though he's playing a game of a 24, 25-year-old, which is always a really good sign for a young player coming through. The sign of maturity in this day and age, in the shortest format, I think is probably lacking. So when it comes to his cricketing smarts and the level of experience that he's showing, it's far beyond his years.
Finney has a good eye for picking talent?
No, Finney doesn't have a good eye for picking talent. That must be said as well. Nothing against Stephen Finn, but it's...
He may have got it right now.
He's definitely got it right now, but it's one of about 10 players over the years that he said, keep an eye on. The rest haven't lasted that long.
Let's talk about some players that have really impressed you. Any surprise packages this season?
I think the surprise package has been Quinton de Kock. And sitting it, I've played against him for a long time, and I've seen the best of him and I've seen the worst of him. And this year, it has surprised me how good he has been and how quickly he has got back to the Quinton de Kock that we've known in a South African shirt for a very long time. I think it's a brilliant signing. A coach and a captain there who backed themselves to get the player back to his very, very best. And Quinton de Kock at his very, very best is a good sign for South Africa. So he has surprised me in that way, but clearly there's been thought and drive behind it from his side as well.
What about the younger players? There's been a few. You could look at someone like Issa Trey was coming from England. Jordan Herman has batted in a new position at Sunrisers. McQuaina, who probably at the beginning of the season was a backup option out the Under-19 World Cup. He's got 11 wickets this season. Anyone has really jumped out to you that you think maybe in 2 or 3 more Betway SA20s, they could be playing international cricket, if not sooner?
Yeah, here I think if not sooner. I think McQuaina is a great example of that. And when you have a very good tournament, and Betway SA20 has proved that, your elevation of status and reputation, if you succeed, is immediate. It happens overnight. You are broadcast around living rooms up and down the country, around the world, because you can deal with that element of pressure. You know, young bowlers like McQuaina, the Herman brothers, to come in and formulate something that they can then replicate on an international stage, which is obviously good for South African cricket.
We've had 30 matches in the group stages. Time to pick a combined 11. You come prepared?
I have.
Let's hear what you have. And I'll play devil's advocate.
Yeah, you can challenge as much as you like, but there's massive bias here. Let's see, can you pick out the bias? So at the top of the order, I have Quinton de Kock and Ryan Rickleton.
Okay.
Happy with that?
Can't
argue. 2 highest run scores.
Can't argue.
3 I've got Aidan Markram.
Okay, yeah. He has batted there. I would throw in maybe a Shea Hope.
Fair enough.
I'm just checking my list.
You keep on your list.
What else you doing?
At number 4, this is a toss-up between the 2 Hermans. There's like 10 or 15 runs between both of them. They're 2 very accomplished young men.
Right.
Again, my bias might stand out here. I've gone with Ruben.
What's the bias?
You'll figure it out.
No,
at number 5.
And Herman, that's very harsh on his brother. Very harsh. But go ahead, I'm listening.
At number 5, I have Shafane Rutherford.
Yeah. So, no bias involved, but so.
Right. At number 6, Dave Miller. Ooh. You've not got Miller?
Not sure about that one.
Okay, we can come back to that.
We'll come back.
At number 7, Skandar Raza.
Done, for sure.
At number 8, Gideon Peters.
Definitely agree. What a story that man has. Net bowler to very good last season. Didn't start this season. And he's been their best.
Played 5 games, taking 9 wickets.
Been their best bowler.
Yeah, he's quick as well. I reckon he's got more pace in the locker.
Morris, I spoke to some batters in this tournament. They don't want to face him.
No, why would
they're saying he bowls heavy.
Yeah. So he's in.
Yes. The bowling, no, this is very interesting. I'm listening.
So I've gone 1 spinner in Skandar Raza, but I've gone 4 quicks.
Okay.
So Peters, I've got McQuena, Norkia, and the Bartman.
Now, I throw in a couple of names here.
Please.
Is Marco Janssen in the reckoning? 10 wickets, and he didn't have many runs, 76 runs. Didn't get many chances to bat. You think he's in the reckoning?
Yeah, I thought about the left arm angle a little bit, but then I went pace. And so you got pace to burn with Peters and Norkia, and then I just went out and out skill with McQuena and Bartman. No, if I was selecting a squad,
Yeah, it'd be different.
I would have a left armer in there.
Yeah.
But this is the best of the best, I think, so far.
Who did you have at 6?
At 6, I had
There was one that I didn't agree with.
David Miller. He's also going to captain.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
196 runs, averaging 40 straight rate, 148. However, let me throw this.
Sorry, those numbers are pretty good.
Yeah. But remember, numbers can be very misleading.
Did he hand that as
One not out.
I know that.
It was an unbeaten, so hence his average looks
Correct.
There's someone like a Dean Forrester
Oh, yeah.
who's maybe won them a couple of games. Think about first season, all of those things. I would throw him in there, left-hander.
Yeah.
80 not out, 43 not out. He's been very good. And the other name I would throw in there, you had McQueen in yours, right? Adam Milne. Same 11 wickets at 16.
Yeah.
And I would argue he bowls the tougher overs because he has to bowl 3 in the power play.
That's fair. That's fair. We have plenty of options in the power play, though, do I have to say.
True. Well, you just told me you're not picking a squad to play.
You figured out
my best.
Did you figure out my bias?
To Parle and
No, they're just good sides. Left-handers. Got a load of left-handers in there.
Sure.
But they have been good. It's been a tournament for left-handers.
You're just
I tell you what it hasn't been a tournament for.
the right-handers.
Spinners. Genuine. Normally in franchise tournaments, you have, say, the likes of Rashid Khan.
Yeah.
Whatever. This tournament, you've had Keshav Maharaj and Sikandar Raza. Raza came really late. Obviously, had a huge impact. If he hadn't have come, Mujib was staying on, Mujib hadn't taken a great deal of wickets either. So in tournaments, T20 tournaments, you normally find that mystery spin or just spin in general has a good impact, but not the Betway SA20 so far.
Morgs, team of the tournament done. 4 playoff teams set. Who's the strongest team you think in these playoffs? Most dangerous?
Most dangerous for me is still Sunrisers Eastern Cape. They just like a well-drilled side with a lot of momentum in the way. And they also look like a side that at this stage of the tournament can be adaptable as well. And that's going to be an important part of it.
Pretoria Capitals, watch out for them. I still feel the batting hasn't fired yet. Dangerous team. Not because they have 4 West Indians, just putting it out there. But guys, it's been a lot of fun. 30 matches have flown by like this. And the next 3 are going to be blockbuster. Make sure you join us. Betway SA20 playoff action is coming to you. These are the games where you are never forgotten. See you soon.